Major river systems and rivers of North India. The rivers of India play an important role in the lives of Indian people. The river systems provide irrigation, potable water, cheap transportation, electricity, and the livelihoods for a large number of people all over the country. This easily explains why nearly all the major cities of India are located by the banks of rivers. The rivers also have an important role in Hindu mythology and therefore are considered holy by all Hindus in the country. There are 7 major rivers along with their numerous tributaries that make up the river systems of India. Most of the rivers pour their waters into the Bay of Bengal. However, some of the rivers whose courses take them through the part of the country and towards the east of the state of Himachal Pradesh empty their waters into Arabian Sea. Parts of Ladakh, northern parts of Aravalli ranges and the arid parts of Thar deserts have inland drainage itself. Now, all the major rivers of India originate from one of the 3 main watersheds. They are number 1, Himalayas and Karakoram ranges, number 2, Vindhya and Satpura ranges, and Chota Nagpur plateau in central India, and third one, Sahyadri or Western India. Now let us take a look at the major river systems and rivers of India in detail. India is sometimes referred to as the land of rivers. The multitude of tributaries and close building of Indian civilization and culture to the local rivers is a reason for this characterization. Travel anywhere in India and one is overcome by how much the rivers influence the economy and the local culture. Indeed, Indians have worshipped rivers as a form of mother goddess from ancient times. Among the major rivers of India, Indus River system stands out. The Indus River originates in the northern slopes of Kailash range near Lake Mansarovar in Tibet. Although most of the river's courses runs through neighboring Pakistan, a portion of it does run through the Indian territory, as do parts of the courses of 5 major tributaries. That is, these tributaries are the sources of this name of Punjab region of South Asia, and this name is derived from the Persian words Panj, that is 5, and Ab means water. Hence the combination of the words Punjab means the 5 waters or the land of 5 waters. Beas River. The Beas originates in the Beas Kund, which is lying near the Rohtang Pass. It runs past Manali and Kulu, where its beautiful valley is known as the Kulu Valley. It joins Satluj River near Harika after being joined by a few other tributaries. The total length of the river is 615 kilometers, that is Beas. The second most important river of Punjab is Chenab. The Chenab originates from the confluence of 2 rivers, that is the Chandra and the Bhaga. It is also known as the Chandrabhaga in Himachal Pradesh. It runs parallel to the Pierre mountain range and it enters the plains of Punjab near Aknoor and is later joined by Jhelum. It is further joined by the Rabi and Satluj in Pakistan at a later stage. The Chenab River is formed by the confluence of the Chandra and Bhaga rivers at Dandi, which is located in the upper Himalayas, that is in the Lahul and Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. In its upper reach, it is known as Chandrabhaga. The river Chenab flows through the Jammu region of Jammu and Kashmir into the plains of the Punjab, forming the boundary between the Rashna and Jek interflues. It is also called Dobs in Persian. The river is joined by Jhelum River at Trimmu and then by the Rabi River in Ahmadpur, Siao. The river then merges with the Satluj River near Uch Sharif in Pakistan, and it forms the Panjnad or the five rivers, and the fifth being the Beas River, which joins the Satluj in Firozpur in India. The Chenab then joins the Indus at Mithankot in Pakistan. The total length of Chenab is approximately 960 kilometers, and the waters of the Chenab are allocated to Pakistan under the terms of Indus Water Treaty. The Chenab River was known to Indians in the Vedic period as Chandrabhaga, also Ashkini, and also as Assassins in ancient Greeks. In 325 BC, Alexander the Great allegedly founded the town of Alexandria on the Indus River. Present day it is Uch Sharif or Mithankot or Chacharan in Pakistan. And there is a combined stream of Punjab rivers that are currently known as Panjnad River. The Chenab has the same place in the consciousness of the people of Punjab as, say, Rhine, River Rhine holds for the Germans, or the River Danube for the Austrians and the Hungarians. River Chenab is an iconic river around which Punjabi consciousness revolves, and it plays an important part in the tale of Heer Ranjha, the Punjabi national epic, and the legend of Sohini Mahiwal. The river has been in the news of late due to the steps taken by the Indian government to build number of hydropower dams along its length, that is in India. This is a result of the Indus Basin project, and these planned projects on Chenab have been hotly contested by Pakistan, and Pakistan says that India is breaking the terms and clauses of the Indus River Treaty by storing and channelizing the waters of this river, and this claim obviously has been rejected by the Indian government. Now the third most important river is Jhelum, River Jhelum. The River Jhelum originates at the southeastern part of Kashmir in a spring at Verinag, a place situated at the foot of Pir Panjal in southeastern part of Valley of Kashmir in India. It flows through Srinagar and Ular Lake before entering Pakistan through a deep, narrow gorge. Fourth river is River Ravi. The Ravi River originates near Rohtang Pass in Himalayas, and it follows a northwesterly course. It turns to the southwest near Dalhousie and then cuts a gorge in the Dhauladhar range, entering the Punjab plain near Madhavpur. It flows as a part of the Indo-Pakistani border for some distance before entering Pakistan and joining the Chenab River ultimately. Now, fifth river is the Satluj. The river Satluj originates from the Rakas Lake, which is connected to the Manasarovar Lake by a stream in Tibet. River Satluj enters Pakistan near Sulemanki, and it is later joined by the River Chenab. River Satluj has a total length of almost 1500 kilometers. Now we will discuss River Satluj and River Brahmaputra in detail, and the River Ganges is discussed in detail in a separate file. The Satluj River is the longest of the five rivers that flow through the historic crossroad region of Punjab in northern India and Pakistan. River Satluj is located north of Vindhya Range and south of Hindu Kush segment of the Himalayas and east of the central Suleiman Range in Pakistan. River Satluj is sometimes known as the Red River. It is the easternmost tributary of the Indus River, and its source is Lake Rakshasthala in Tibet near Mount Kailash. It flows generally west, and southwest and enters India through Shipkila Pass in Himachal Pradesh. It waters the ancient and historically important region of Greater Punjab. The region to the south and the east is arid, and it is known as the Great Indian Desert or Thar Desert. The river Satluj joins the Beas River in Harike Patan, Amritsar, Punjab, and it continues southwest into Pakistan, and it unites with the Chenab River, and it forms the Panjnad River south of ancient Multan. The Panjnad later joins the Indus River at Mithankot, and Indus then flows through a gorge near Sukkur, a place called Sukkur, and flows through the fertile plains region of Sindh, and finally terminates itself in the Arabian Sea near the port city of Karachi in Pakistan. The waters of Satluj are allocated to India under the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan and are mostly diverted to irrigation canals in India. A huge multi-purpose Bhakra Nangal Dam has been built on the river Satluj by Indian government way back. There are several major hydraulic projects on the river Satluj, that is 1000 megawatt Karcham Wangtu hydraulic project, and there has been a proposal to build another 214 kilometers long heavy freight canal known as the Satluj-Yamuna link in India, and it will connect the Satluj and Yamuna rivers. However, this proposal has met obstacles and has been referred to the Supreme Court. Interestingly, the river Satluj was known as Sutudri in the Vedic period. The Satluj, along with all of the Punjab rivers, is thought to have drained east into the Ganges in the ancient times. There is a substantial geological evidence to indicate that prior to 1700 BC at the latest, river Satluj was an important tributary of Gagra Hakra river, and possibly it was through the Saraswati river rather than the Indus, and the various authors put the redirection of river Satluj from 2500 to 2000 BC or 5000 to 3000 BC. Geologists, however, believe that the tectonic activity created an elevation of changes which redirected the flow of Satluj from southeast to the southwest. The mighty Saraswati then began to dry up, causing desertification of Cholistan and the eastern part of the modern state of Sindh. The desertification resulted in abandonment of numerous ancient human settlements along the banks of Saraswati. There is some evidence that the high rate of erosion that has been caused by the modern Satluj River has influenced the local faulting, and it has rapidly exhumed the rocks above Rampur. This feature would be similar, but on a much smaller scale than the exhumation of rocks by the Indus River in Pakistan. The Satluj River also exposes a doubled inverted metamorphic gradient. The source of Satluj is just west of Mount Kailash in western Tibet. This is a roadless area, and it was first explored by kayak and raft by Russians and German teams in 2004. The largest modern industrial city along the Satluj banks is Ludhiana in India. Now let us go to river Brahmaputra, one of the largest rivers of India. The Brahmaputra, also called Sangpo Brahmaputra, is a transboundary river and one of the major rivers of Asia. From its origin in southwestern Tibet as the Yarlung Jangbo River, River Brahmaputra flows across southern Tibet and it breaks through the Himalayas in great gorges and finally into Arunachal Pradesh, where it is known as River Dihang. River Brahmaputra flows southwest through the Assam Valley as Brahmaputra and south through the Bangladesh as Jamuna. This Jamuna is not to be mistaken with the Yamuna of India. There, River Brahmaputra merges with the Ganges to form the vast delta. About 2900 kilometers long, River Brahmaputra is an important source of irrigation and transportation. Its upper course was long unknown, and its identity with the Yartung Zangpo was only established by explorers in 1884 to 1886. River Brahmaputra is often called as Zangpo Brahmaputra River also. The average depth of the river is 124 feet and the maximum depth is about 380 feet. In Bangladesh, the river merges with the Ganges and splits into two, that is the river Padma and Meghna river. When it merges with the Ganges, it forms the world's largest delta, that is the Sundarbans. The Sundarbans is known for tigers, crocodiles and mangroves. While most Indian and Bangladeshi rivers bear the female names, this river has a rare male name and it means son of Brahma in Sanskrit. The Brahmaputra is a navigable river for most of its length. The lower parts of river Brahmaputra are sacred to Hindus. The river is prone to catastrophic flooding in spring when the Himalayan snows melt. It is also one of a few rivers in the world that exhibits a tidal bore. Now let us see in detail the river course of Brahmaputra. The Erlong Zangpo originates, as said before, in Zima Angsang Glacier near Mount Kailash in the northern Himalayas. It then flows east for 1,700 kilometers at an average height of 4,000 meters or about 13,000 feet. Therefore, it is thus the highest of the major rivers in the world. At its eastern point, the Brahmaputra river bends around Mount Namcha Barwa and forms the Erlong Zangpo Canyon, and this canyon is considered the deepest in the world. Until Indian independence in 1947, the river Brahmaputra was used as a major waterways. In the 1990s, the stretch between Sadia and Dhubri in India was declared as a national waterway number 2, and this provides facilities for goods and transportation. The recent years have been a modest spurt in the growth of river cruises with the introduction of the cruise ship Chardeep by Assam Bengal Navigation. As the river enters Arunachal Pradesh, it is called Siang, and Siang makes a very rapid descent from its original height in Tibet and finally appears in the plains where it is called as Dihang in Assam. It flows for about 35 kilometers and it is joined by two other major rivers, Dibhang and Lohit. From this point of confluence, the river Brahmaputra becomes very wide and it is called Brahmaputra here onwards. River Brahmaputra is further joined in Sonitpur district by the Jia Boreli, which is named as the Kamang River, and it flows from Arunachal Pradesh. It flows through the entire state of Assam later on, and in Assam the river is sometimes as wide as 10 kilometers. Between Dibrugarh and Lakhimpur districts, the river Brahmaputra divides into two channels, the northern Kirikutia channel and the southern Brahmaputra channel. The two channels join again about 100 kilometers downstream, forming the Majuli Island, At Guwahati, near the ancient pilgrimage center of Hajo, the river Brahmaputra cuts through the rocks of Shillong Plateau. And this plateau is the narrowest at 1 kilometer bank to bank. Because the river Brahmaputra is the narrowest at this point, the Battle of Strait was fought here. The first rail-cum-road bridge across Brahmaputra was in fact opened to traffic in April 1962 at this place of Strait.